since we're still getting used to the new equipment around here, might as well make this a Bokenger theme week and continue looking at the Gogo vehicles. This time we are looking at all of the auxiliary vehicles that mount up to him via these little arm ports. So we've got a lot to talk about for one single random review, which is kind of why I didn't want to do it as a random review, but we've gone too far now. Here we go. I'm going to get him out of the way for now, and he'll reemerge when it is his time. For now, we're going to go through these guys one at a time and show off their individual features. For starters, Gogo vehicle number 6, Gogo Drill. One of my favorites. I love the look of this thing. I like big drill vehicles to begin with, but this is about the most serious one I've ever seen. Bright orange in color, same silver and chrome that decos pretty much everything in this toy line, as well as some orange and gold for the tip of the drill. I don't think gold is an appropriate metal for the tip of a drill, but hey, I'm no geologist. But I can say it does look quite good on this toy. Now, these do have to function on their own as toys because they did sell them individually in Japan, so every one of them has to do a little bit more than your typical Gogo vehicle. For the drill, you have this piece in the back, which does look like a nice turbine shape for when you need your drill to go super fast. But it's also a crank, which lets us rotate everything and get the drill spinning manually, which is quite cool. What you'll notice here is not only does the central drum spin, so does the main drill, but as the main drill spins, the small drills within it also spin independently. So you've got double layers of spinning going on here, which is a really cool effect. Really like that. Oh, and hey, it does spin as you roll on the ground, because of course it does. Now it also does this, which looks a little bit confusing, like it's going to transform into a leg or something. It's actually to make it look like it's about to tunnel into the ground by propping up the rear, bringing the tip of the drill to the bottom. That's kind of a neat little thing, but you'll probably rarely use it. But it's there if you want it, and that's the drill. So moving on. Vehicle number 7. Gogo Shovel. Yes, I got the name wrong last time. I'm trying to mend my errors. Yeah, so as you can see, light blue in color this time. Same silver, same heavy-duty industrial look. Little bits of gold where the highlights and, well, the lights would actually be. I like this vehicle. It's nice compact in this mode, so it doesn't really look like a excavator yet. That's better. You'll notice it has that double hinge thing going on to create that, extension effect, which does work out pretty well for this guy. Again, little pistons and little hydraulics all over these toys to make sure they look like heavy work vehicles. Still dig that. And there's our passenger seat, or driver's seat, I assume. Well, I assume that's where they drive it from. You never really can tell in some of these. But yeah, that molding's nice on here. Grills, panels, all over the place. What's really nice about the toy is it does pretty much everything you want an excavator toy to actually do. So it rotates from the treads, and aside from just being articulated, the scoop does have a claw feature to grab onto whatever it wants. You can see the gold painted on the front as well, just for a little bit more flair. So it works out pretty nicely. It's I will say it's kind of the most boring of the set because there's like no actual spin gimmick to it. It's just full of like little things it can do. Like here, you can fold out the little stabilizers on the side in case you're digging up something really heavy. Doesn't really come into play much. And does have wheels for appropriate rolling, but he really doesn't do a whole lot. So kind of the boring member of the team. But hey, he's got teammates that make up for that. For instance, Gogo Mixer, vehicle number 8. I really like cement mixers. I don't know why. I've just had a thing for them for as long as I could remember. Not a clue why. Maybe it's the Mix Master fan in me from the old Transformers. Green in color now. Favorite color, so we're still doing good here. Kind of weird with this Two-Face thing going on. It's got the black painted on the front. I'm not entirely sure why. Again, I don't do heavy vehicles, so maybe there is a reason to it. The silver is in full effect all the way through the bottom of the toy, really only giving way here in the rear, and even there's plenty of gold highlights to make up for the loss. All around, tons of paint on this one. A lot of paint on the cylinder, too, to give it a gunmetal gray look. Now, I said it's only the shovel that's really missing a major action feature, so on this one, it's the gear up here, which lets the drum spin, which is pretty typical of any cement mixer toy. However, we can also flip out the rear piece, and now we can also do this. Haha! Didn't expect that, did you? Unless you actually know the show, in which in case you expected it completely. Yeah, now we've folded up like this beautiful flower has bloomed with a giant cannon in the middle. I love all the gold chrome in here. Very cool. And, of course, the gear still works. So all this, one big death blossom spinning around. And yes, it may as well take out the Kodan Armada. I don't know why, but hey, it can. Of course, it doesn't really work in this mode because everything else kind of gets in the way. But hey, if you kind of want him rolling around as kind of a death truck firing off into the air, I guess you can. Your imagination, not mine. So I really do like that one. And that leaves us with vehicle number 9, Gogo Crane. Deep blue color on this one. A lot of blue in the Bokenger lineup. But hey, varying shades, and it all kind of works out. Again, the silver is laid out thick all the way around. All the way around. Bumper, trim, everything. And even on the hubs of the wheels. All 8 of them on this one. And again, we have the hydraulics painted in. Lots of detail on this one. Really dig this. And then again, we have the seats in the front, as well as what seems to be another seat right here for whoever's operating this massive, massive crane. So, I said action features, so of course, this is a crane truck, so as you'd expect, it can extend up. That's about as far as it'll go, though. And you'll see these fake hydraulics actually hide away and extend as you do so. I always like when toys do that. I'm going to amend this in where appropriate because there is one little thing I forgot on Crane. Just like Shovel, he does have little extensions that flip out from the side as stabilizers, just as the real-world truck would have. It's a very small detail. Again, you'll probably never use it, but I do like that it is there. You'll excuse this sudden jump cut just because, hey, I'm trying not to leave anything out this time. Now for actual features, this can pop loose and the string goes about that far. And of course, completely slack, do whatever you want with it. But that's not much of an action feature until we kind of reel it in like a fishing line, at which time, yep, it can all retract. So that kind of works out. Also, this piece on top does completely detach. So if you want just a normal hook, it's fully capable of giving you that too. But why would you want it when you have these gigantic gold hooks to grab onto things with? That's a crane. And that is our look at the individual vehicles. And of course, they all work out pretty well. I like all 4 of them for different reasons. Shovel probably being the bottom of the pack, but I love the multiple layers of spinning that Gogo Drill does. Now, of course, the main feature to these guys is the fact that they can all form armaments for Daibouken. Now, I have taken the liberty of removing Marine and Dozer. Yes, I know I got that name wrong. I'm trying hard not to screw anything up this time because I know I also skipped the claw mode for Gogo Dump. Trying to make up for it. But the nice thing is that all these vehicles can, very quickly, very easily, transform into, oh, there goes gyro, arm modes. Which is really nice that all of them have that kind of functionality. Rotate that around, flip that down, lock in place. I mean, that gives us, Mixer and Crane's armament modes. They are very wide compared to the others because of these big truck sections hanging down as wide shoulder guards. There's something about the smaller connection piece in there that kind of makes this look a little bit weird to me, but you know me, I kind of like this style. Crane, I will say, does pull it off better, simply because he's got a much more solid look to him around the bicep area. And Mixer's looking a little bit thin here, which is kind of unfortunate. And of course, this does not hinder their gimmicks in any way. Despite the transformations, everything still spins, everything still reels up on Crane. They still work out just fine. So you have that functionality for these two. And that does require a little bit of transformation in order to accomplish. On the other hand, you also have Drill and Shovel, which combined on, we'll go ahead and mix it up a little bit. See, I'm doing this like a card trick, so you don't know which way is he gonna combine them. But as you can see, they form up as well. I tend to like them a little bit better. I do like how this one has a little bit of variance in how you can actually display it. Kind of prefer to solidify it up here and use that big claw as kind of a massive hand. And yeah, the drill is a drill. It's just hanging off of his shoulder now. Yeah, they are very simple. They don't require any level of transformation in order to attach them. They just kind of are there. And there's nothing terribly wrong with that, really. So, I do like that they have all that different functionality. They serve some function on their own as individual toys, and it is nice that they have these combined modes. But then again, you probably saw the thumbnail, and you might have seen, you might have actually seen what I titled this video. Of course, this time I haven't really figured out what I'm going to title it yet. But anyway, yes, this is hardly all that they do. I'm going to take off the helmet now. I'm going to go ahead and reattach it to where it belongs on Gogo Gyro. So, lock all that back in place, and we're going to go ahead and reconnect Gogo Gyro the way it was on the Gogo Trailer mode. Grab a hold of the head, and everything rotates. Now you can see I've already taken the liberty of connecting Dumper, or getting them mixed up again. Get it right, get it right. Dozer, 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 dozer. The comment section will explode again. And Marine. This is not a special connection, by the way. This is pretty much just the way they were in the trailer mode. So, nothing really special or different going on there. Now for these, that has to get extended like that. And on him, there's a completely separate hinge that folds that entire crane section back. I'm also going to need this. Thank you very much. Reconnect that so it doesn't get in the way. And that forms the basis of our super boots, because you can't go wrong with super booties. It's classic Japanese combination style. And one awkward jump cut later, we are back. And just to make sure I've got everything right, yeah, there's a separate hinge. Make sure you got that correct, because I don't want the comment section to be mad at me again. Now this foot's going to have to tuck in just a little bit in order to make this connection, or else it's not going to fit. You can't just clamp it straight down there. Crane's a little bit more accommodating in that, where that just kind of slams in place. Well, slams in place if you actually get the connection point right. There we go. All connected on. Of course, it's not much of a combination without a new head, and for that, yeah, I had to go back and retake something. What of it? I'll unfold that, rotate around, and I will form the new head, giving us, and my everything is blocking this shot. Super Daibouken. He's looking quite cool here. Now, we've got a lot more bots cobbled together here, a lot more vehicles going into this, but it still manages to maintain a rather solid appearance, which I find to be impressive. Give you a good look at that new head. It's using the exact same face, which again, my lighting is not great at getting, but hey, it's doing a little bit better than it was on Monday. Gigantic horns now, because hey, if you're going to call yourself Super Daibouken, you might as well have gigantic horns to show it. I do like the look. it works for me. You know, it's definitely an upgrade from having those two little rockets on the side of his head. As we can see, the proportions on this guy still manage to maintain just well enough. These arms tend to look a little bit big on Daibouken just because, you know, he's usually got little guys there on his arms. However, with the added risers of these two vehicles, these don't look so bad. Of course, we can play around with this and get it extended down a little bit just so it kind of balances out a little bit better. Or you can extend it down all the way. You know, it's your toy, whatever. We've got the same basic color combinations going on from Daibouken. Green, a lot more blue added in, as well as the orange from this. It's looking very Megazord. And, excuse me, but I'm reviewing a Sentai mech using that term. We look at the back, yeah, it does start to get a little bit kibbly as figures and characters just didn't know exactly where to go. We got the crane and the mixer hanging off the back of the legs. Poor Gyro, man. He's relegated to the backpack twice this time. At least Formula was the chest before. It's kind of clever to spin the whole thing around. You know, cuts down on how many connection points you need. Man, Gyro just can't catch a break here. So, aside from the fact that these two keep their functionality, you know, we still have a fairly decent level of articulation, which is kind of surprising. Now, on top of all that we've gained from having that be our arm now, remember all that leg posing that I liked Daibouken for so much? It's still here. It's all still here. Look at that high raise on the knee. Look at that. Look at that. We got 9 mechs. Okay, keep in mind, when they combine mechs in Sentai now, you're lucky if they have arms that go up and down once they get more than like 5 together. Now we've got full universal hips, thigh swivel, 90-degree knee bend, and up and down arms, as well as the head rotation is still here. With 9 combined together, and it still feels solid. This you don't get out of Sentai mechs anymore. You just don't. They break up into too many pieces. They get too convoluted and complicated. This is just like, this is like the last Sentai mech that really managed to pull this kind of transformation and combination off, and I love it for that. So, that all said, that is Super Daibouken, as well as the individual vehicles that make up his new components. I still really love this team of vehicles. Extremely heavy figure at this point, but hey, it's going to get a little bit bigger because I've got one to go and one more random review for the week. So why not make it a theme and finish it up?